Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we faced off against Colress, the Shadow Triad, and the resident champions of Hoenn. And this time, we are going to be taking on, I want to say, 5 more optional boss fights? 5 or 6? I guess technically 6. We're here in Flockacy Town to do that, and we have not been here in a long time, now that I think of it. But anyway, the first place we want to go is actually Alder's house, because, surprise surprise, we can actually fight him, and I would like to do that now. Oh, you've come. Could I spar with you, the strongest trainer in the Unova region? I say so, good sir. Oh, my heart jumps for joy. Well then, prepare yourself for battle. Kai-ai, I guess. I don't know. Unfortunately, we do not get his versus portrait or the former champion battle music for this fight, which is pretty unfortunate, actually, because it's actually a decent song. I mean, it's not my favorite champion song in the series, but it's pretty good. Because, I mean, it's a champion song. How could it possibly be bad? But anyway, yes, this episode we are going to be taking on most of the optional boss fights in the series. I'm going to be saving a few for later episodes, but we're going to be doing most of them here. If that's the move you chose after serious consideration, that's fine. What's that supposed to mean, huh, sir? And I could have switched out to a fire type here, but I think just spamming Thunderbolt worked out very, very well for me. Alright, we have Bouffalante coming out next. I think I want to switch to Victini, because Victini could use a little more experience under its belt. And I think that will work out just fine. Now, I guess one thing that is worth noting that every single optional boss fight I'm showing in this video was actually in the original Black and White 2. None of them were added in the hack. And it is worth noting that Alder's Pokemon are in the 70s, which means, honestly, we probably should have done this fight a while ago, but I felt like it was probably best to just sort of bundle it in here with all of the other optional boss fights, because the next few episodes are mainly going to be knocking out optional boss fights, because we had a section of the post-game where we did a lot of exploration and we caught legendary Pokemon as we saw them. Now we're in a section where we're going to do all these optional boss fights, and then it's going to be just filling out our Pokedex, and a last few little things to wrap up, and then we are going to be done, which I am honestly quite excited about. Not saying that I'm getting tired of playing this game, but it's going to be really fun being able to go on my channel and kick back and see a complete Let's Play of this game, because it's been in the works for almost a year now, and I'm really, really excited to see it completely come to fruition after all this time. Anyway, it looks like this thing is packing Thunder, and of course, because it's AI controlled, it's going to hit. I honestly cannot remember the last time the AI attempted Thunder and failed. It's kind of ridiculous. I suppose they might have items that buff their accuracy, but I feel like that a lot of Pokemon just tend to be life-orbed in this situation, so I'm really not sure what to expect. Alrighty, up next is Galvantula. I think I'm going to stay in and just whack this thing with a Brave Bird. Seems like a good choice. Alright, is this going to be a one-shot? I don't know. It's not super effective. It is a one-shot. Very nice. I mean, we do out-level it by about 20, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. This is probably going to be the biggest steamroll of the episode, so hopefully you guys don't mind too terribly much about that, but yeah, I probably should have done this fight a bit earlier. But I felt like it fit in here the best, although I suppose we could have done it way back when we were on Route 20 for Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, but I felt like we were on a bit of a roll that episode anyway, doing other stuff. Anyway, we're going to take out Braviary probably in one hit right here, because we out-level it by 23, which is kind of ridiculous. There we go. Is that his last Pokemon? It is not. He has one more. He has a Volcarona, which is an interesting choice. I don't think Volcarona can possibly have Levitate, so I'm going to try and hit it with an Earthquake because it is part Fire type. As we became acquainted with... oh, when was it? Episode 50-something is when we caught one of these. Wow, you're an inexhaustible fighting spirit. Incredible. At least I think that's what he said. That's one gripe I do have with Generation 5, is that a lot of the in-battle quotes scroll automatically, so if you're not really on top of your game, you're going to miss some text. Which I think is a little unfortunate. I'd rather that it would be progress with the A button. Good, that strength is good, but I'm going to send it back at you. Alright, Bug Buzz probably isn't going to do too terribly much to me. That actually did a decent bit more than I thought. But I think Earthquake is going to conclude this fight quite quickly. There we go. After that battle, a fresh wind blew through my heart. Mine too, good sir. That's the champion for you. Gramps! I did it! I did it! I did it! The Black Tower! I made it to the top! Why, if it isn't Benga? Are you serious, boy? Hey, Gramps! You know how strong I am. Hey, hey! Who's that? His name is David. He's the strongest trainer in the Unova region. I knew it. That trainer smells tough. Ugh. How about it, Benga? Do you want to spar, perhaps? No. I know that trainer's strong, and I want to battle, but those Pokémon haven't been through enough. Me, and my Pokémon, we climbed to the top of the Black Tower. You do that too. There, we'll see who's stronger. Let's try hard to be the best. Later, Gramps and David. He's a lively one, even for my grandson. I'll explain what he was talking about. He challenged a place called the Black Tower, which appeared in Black City. You'll find out what kind of place it is if you go there. An ordinary trainer, however, can't make it to where he is. So that's the story. If you'd like, you should take the challenge as well. Something I should mention about that challenge. Especially in this hack, it is ruthlessly difficult, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I can make it there, all the way to the top, so that is one fight I might not actually be showing in this Let's Play. Really depends on how everything goes, but I really think that's something we're not going to be able to do just because of the extreme difficulty of the challenge. However, I do plan on covering it in pretty extensive detail, so we will be talking about it and there will be a video on it. I just don't think we're going to make it to the top. Anyway, with that, I would like to meet you guys up in Undella Town for our next couple of fights. Alrighty, we are here in Undella Town, and I think you can tell who we're going to be fighting today, so let's get right on into it. What? It isn't like I came here because I heard rumors about Cynthia being here and I wanted to challenge her or anything. I'm here to complete the Pokédex. See? Here's proof. You can have it. Oh wow, another Master Ball? I have a feeling that was added in this hack because I don't remember that in the original game. It's a Master Ball. It can catch any Pokemon instantly, but it's really, really rare. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have found my sister's Purloin. Or should I say her Liepard. Okay, David, let's see who our Aspertia's strongest Pokemon. Oh yeah, let's do it. Go get 'em, guys! It really feels like Hugh has gotten his pep back together after that incident back in the Giant Chasm all that time ago, way back in episode 103? I want to say, it's kind of crazy saying way back in blah 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 episode, and it's something in the 100s. But I guess that's just a testament to how long this LP has been, and like Alder, this is a fight that we really probably should have done a little bit earlier, but honestly, this is the only reason we have to come to Undella Town, aside from another boss fight, which we are also going to be doing, which is quite a bit more difficult than Hugh is, so I figured might as well lump it all into one trip to Undella Town, and for that we're gonna need a team quite a bit stronger than Hugh's, so I have to apologize to the guy, but we're probably gonna curb stomp him again right here too, just because I wanted to have some of these episodes flow a little bit better, and as a result of that, we got some weird leveling discrepancies going on. Battling against you always gets me riled up. Riled up enough to heal, right? Yep, but luckily he just used his neutralizing berry, so considering how much damage our Ice Beam just did, this is basically guaranteed to be a knockout right here, so probably not the best call for Hugh to heal right there. He probably should have just blasted us with an Outrage for a sacrifice play. Alrighty, up next is Electros, which is a Pokemon with no weaknesses, which is one of the main reasons I really enjoy using this Pokemon. It's just a really fun Pokemon to use, having a Pokemon with no weaknesses, and as of right now in the series, as of Generation 6, it is the only Pokemon, or rather the only line of 3 Pokemon in the evolutionary line to have no weaknesses, because I don't know how many people actually realize this, but Spiritomb and Sableye are actually weak to Fairy-type attacks, which I think is a pretty neat little detail, so I'm pretty sure it's possible to have a Pokemon have no weaknesses via type alone as of this point in the series, but it hasn't happened yet. So you can only do it through the use of abilities, which I think is pretty interesting. Also makes it easier to counter and neutralize. Anyway, I think I'm going to keep Gastrodon in right here just to see if we can squirrel away enough experience to get to level 95, although I'm not sure if we can because we outlevel them so darned much. Yeah, we're not getting too terribly much experience. It's a decent amount. Alright, I think we'll switch over to Magnezone for this next one, because Azumarill is quite weak to my Magnezone's attacks. I'm pretty sure Magnezone has been the counter for this thing pretty much the entire series, at least since episode 50... Was it 50? I think it was 50 when we added Magnezone to the team. Anyway, watch that countdown. Yep, indeed, it is a one-shot KO. Oh man, we're so close to level 100, but Emboar is not a good matchup for Magnezone. And we'll try it, we'll give it a shot. The more team members we can get to level 100, I think the better off we'll be, because in a couple of episodes I'm going to need to grind for a boss fight, or a couple boss fights rather, that I really, really want to show. And wow, that did a lot of damage. If we can survive this Flare Blitz, and I honestly think we will, because of our sturdy ability... Oh wow, it actually recoiled itself. Nice, I made a good decision. And with that, Magnezone is the 3rd team member to hit level 100. This bitter, yet refreshing feeling. David, I'm really glad you're my friend. And off he goes. It's so warm here. Let me get to the point. I have papers that Lord Ghetsis left behind. With these, you can read the ancient scripts in the Abyssal Ruins. As my own small little way to atone for my sins, I'll read them to you. David is now able to read the Abyssal Ruins script. Just to make sure you know, you reach the Abyssal Ruins by using Dive in Undella Bay, and you must write down the ciphers you find in the Abyssal Ruins by yourself. That is indeed Zinzalin, the member of Team Plasma who fought against us so many times. Kinda crazy. And to atone for his sins, he has given us a way to read the cuneiform down in the Abyssal Ruins, which we were not able to read on our first visit, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even check it just because it's not readable at that point. The nice thing is, though, that I'm not going to go over that right now because we're actually going to have to return to the Abyssal Ruins at some point in the future for something, believe it or not. Anyway, with that, we are now going to be entering this house. What's this? What's your name? Okay, I'll remember that. David, nice to meet you. I'm Cynthia. I'm a Pokemon trainer too, like you. I have an insatiable curiosity for researching Pokemon myths. I'm sure you know about Undella Bay's Abyssal Ruins, right? I'm staying here at my friend's villa so I can investigate them. in order to get to know each other better as Pokemon trainers. I would like our Pokemon to have a match. Would you care to be my opponent? Absolutely. Before I send out my Pokemon, my heart always begins to race. Interesting. My Pokemon and their Pokeballs are radiating a happy feeling. Are you the reason? What are you? This is the champion of the Sinnoh region, Cynthia. Yeah, Game Freak really liked this character because since her introduction in Diamond and Pearl, she has appeared consecutively in every entry of the series all the way up to this one. She appeared in Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black 2 and White 2. Kinda crazy how much they really like this character, and with good reason. She's one of the more popular characters in the franchise. Anyway, this is the reason I wanted to have a team far stronger than Hugh's, because as you will see, all of her Pokemon are in the 90s, which is pretty crazy. And unfortunately, we're already getting unlucky with the confusion. Luckily, we got a bit lucky because we were able to avoid Will-O-Wisp right there. Anyway, the requirements for this fight are a little weird. The first time you fight Cynthia, she will be there no matter the time of the year. You can fight her the first time regardless, which I think is pretty awesome. After that, in the summer, she will appear in the villa, but she will not battle you. And I believe in the fall and winter, she will not be there, period. She will rematch you once a day, I believe, but only in the spring. Which is pretty strange to me, honestly. It seems like a very odd setup for the rematch for this fight, considering you can only do it 3 months of the year. But I guess it makes sense because this is such an epic boss fight, they probably want to make it elusive somehow. And I'm not sure, but I don't think this team has been changed too significantly from the original base game, except for the levels, and holy cow, that did a lot of damage. Alright, I think we're going to switch into our own Garchomp and just clean up right here. That's a pretty awesome matchup. This is a Garchomp versus Garchomp matchup, and ours is actually faster, which is awesome. Nice. Now, one thing that is worth noting is Cynthia's Garchomp was shown in the anime to be capable of flight, although I'm pretty sure Garchomp cannot learn fly in the game, so what gives developers? Seriously. I want to be able to teach my Garchomp how to fly, but I guess it's just not meant to be, unfortunately. Ah well. Anyway, we have Milotic coming out here, which is a very bulky Pokemon. I'm packing Thunderbolt just to try and get this thing off the field as soon as possible. Just because Milotic can deal out quite a surprising amount of damage. It's kind of crazy. Milotic is like Generation 3's answer to, Gyarados, and it really doesn't look like it could be as devastating of a force, but honestly, it really can. Alright, did that get her out of healing range? It did, nice. It's kind of nice when leftovers tend to screw over the AI, because it doesn't happen often, but it can happen because the AI is specifically programmed to attempt to heal itself once it's below a certain threshold of HP. And if the leftovers can sort of inch it out of that threshold, it's a really nice little exploit of the AI in the game. And it's definitely nice because I'm pretty sure there have been no changes to the AI itself in this hack. I think the AI used is the base AI in Black 2 and White 2, which means if we were playing Challenge Mode, it would be ruthlessly hard because the AI in Challenge Mode is actually more difficult. Not just levels and movesets, but the AI is actually smarter in Challenge Mode, which is mainly the reason I chose not to do it. Because I would get utterly wrecked, and I really don't like getting utterly wrecked, especially when I'm on a bit of a time crunch to record these videos. Anyway, this is definitely going to put her in healing range, yes indeed. Now the one thing is, I think the Focus Sash isn't going to work a second time in a row. I've always been a little bit iffy on how the Focus Sash works. I think it eats itself after one use. Yes, indeed it does. Unfortunately, we got Poison pointed right there. but I don't think Victini's going to be of much use to us in the rest of this fight, so we should be okay. Alright, up next is Togekiss, and that is a good matchup for Magnezone right here. Alrighty. It's unfortunate that I have to rely on these level 100 team members because I'd like the others to get some experience, but honestly it's not too big of a deal because we've already got 3 guys at level 100. When was the last time I was driven into a corner like this? So yeah, I'd like to use the team members that are sub-level 100, but honestly it's not too big of a deal because since we already have 3 at level 100, grinding isn't going to be too big of a nightmare, which is good. And I forgot, Togekiss can learn Aura Sphere, and that's actually a really, really popular move on this Pokemon, so luckily we managed to get a hit in, which is good. Hopefully this will be a one-shot, although I'm not counting on it because Togekiss is crazy bulky. Ah, dang it. Wait, that wasn't even like, you haven't won yet, I won't let a fun battle end so easily. That wasn't even a focus sash or anything, that was just really, really bad luck. Dang, man. Alright, well Magnezone's gonna go down to that, which is personally okay. But I might as well take this probably last turn of the fight to mention that I absolutely love Cynthia's battle music. Cynthia's battle music is probably one of the best final boss themes in the series, and for good reason. It just gets you so hyped up, and it's quite different from themes we've heard in the past. Especially this part that's coming up, although the battle's probably going to end before we can hear it. Yep. My heart is pounding so hard because I had such a heated battle with you. You are a really great trainer. Probably some of the highest praise we will be getting in this entire series. That was beyond my expectation. What an exceptional battle. I love being here in spring and summer. I can't stay all year because there's so much to investigate in Sinnoh as well. You're a great trainer, and it would make me happy to see you again sometime. That is the only time we are going to be seeing Cynthia in the entire series, more likely than not. It's kind of bittersweet because Cynthia is just a really great character and I always love to see her in the games. But yeah, we are not done with boss fights in this episode yet, however. We've done 3 of them and there's actually 3 more I would like to cover. One of which I'm not entirely sure if we can do quite yet though, so I am going to go check Driftvale City and see what we can pull off. Alrighty, here we are in Driftvale City. Now it is worth noting that that fight with Hugh that we just did only happens once. The perpetual rematch with Hugh actually happens here in Driftvale City. I don't know if we have to wait a day, however. Let's check it out. What? I heard that Team Plasma left many Pokemon behind when they fled, and I'm helping find their real trainers. That aside, since you're here, you should have a battle with me before you go. Yep. Here I come. We are having a second battle with Hugh in the same video. This is where you come to face off against Hugh every single day. Not in Undella Town, although you have to do the Undella Town fight first before you do this one. You can probably tell because now his Pokemon are in the 80s, so this is his final team that we are going to be going up against in the series. Kinda crazy. So we had Hugh in Victory Road way back before we beat the game, and then we really didn't see much of him aside from that little spout in Aspertia City right after we became the champions. My Pokemon seems to be in pain. My partner's pain is my pain. But yeah, we didn't see Hugh much until this episode, and we're actually fighting him twice in the same video, which is kind of crazy. But yes, this is another one of those boss fights that I definitely wanted to show. I'll be honest, I'm really, really glad that we didn't have to wait until tomorrow to do this because due to a really weird time constraint with another boss fight that I want to show off next time, I actually have to record a second video today because today is currently a Friday, and I'm really glad that we managed to make everything sort of work out so I wouldn't have to wait an extra day for this fight because scheduling these fights around arbitrary time restrictions in the game can be a little bit frustrating. Alright, we snapped out of confusion there. This is probably going to be a one-shot barring any sort of focus sash. Yep, there we go. I put Victini in the lead, but I did not actually give it the amulet coin just because we're really, really loaded from my last grinding session. And we should be okay for the rest of time. Anyway, we got level 96 on Victini right there. We're getting real up there in the levels. It looks like the grinding I'm going to have to do in a couple of videos is pretty minimal, and I am very, very, very thankful for that, because grinding is probably one of the most rudimentary and boring things that you can possibly have to do in an RPG. Which is probably one of the reasons that I'm one of the few people that actually likes using the experience share in the new games, even though it does make things a little bit easy. Although I do wish the difficulty could scale for it a little bit better. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Anyway, if we can take this Outrage, which I think we can, we should be able to bring down the Salamence. Come on. Yes, there we go. Yeah, Outrage coming from anything is a very scary force to be reckoned with, but we managed to take it like a champion. Alright, we're almost to level 95. We might be able to do it, I'm really not sure. It depends on how much non-electric stuff this Electros is packing. It might be packing Energy Ball, and in that case we might be in trouble. Okay, it's packing Superpower, which is probably gonna do me in. Yeah. It was probably a little bit close, but ah well. Alrighty, who's going in next? I think we'll send in Victini just to get a little more experience on one of our non-level 100 team members. Alright, I think we'll do... I don't know, I want to be really sure about this, so we're going to hit it with a Flare Blitz. I highly doubt this thing has enough HP to knock me out from recoil, so we should be okay. Yep, we are completely okay. Alright, next up is Bouffalant. I think I want to stay in because Victini is actually packing a fighting-type move, which is pretty nice. Alrighty. Now it is worth noting that Gastrodon still has a couple of HMs on it. I really don't feel like I'm going to need to replace those back within the next couple of episodes, so it's probably not going to be until episode 137 before you see Strength replaced, although I'm pretty confident at this point that we do not need Strength for anything in the entire game world at this point. You know what, I just realized the move deleter is in Driftvale City, so I might actually go take care of that now. It really does seem kind of like a waste to keep Strength on there, so I'm probably going to get rid of it. I am, however, going to keep Surf, because we are going to need Surf for one more itty-bitty tiny little thing that we're going to be doing in a couple of videos. Not to spoil anything, but we are going to need Surf for one thing. Not much, but one thing. In fact, we're going to need it for a couple things, because we also need to return to the Abyssal Ruins for something in the future, so... yeah, we're probably going to keep Surf on Gastrodon, probably indefinitely, just because we're going to need it for a couple of things I want to do later on in the series. And it's pretty neat being able to say later on in the series, and I don't mean 20-something episodes out, because there are not very many videos left for us. Again, like, I know I mention it like every episode, but it's still crazy saying that, how we only have... oh, I think it's like 15 episodes after this, and then we're done. Really crazy. Alright, Bouffalant is almost down, and we are down to our level 100 team members because, of course, we are. Alrighty. And he's actually got one more Pokemon after this, so Hugh is actually putting up a decent fight this time around. Once the enemy AI gets right up around in the level 80s, they can pose a pretty big threat no matter what level you're at. Alright, Azumaril's coming out next. It's not Fairy-type yet, so I'm not really worried about it, so I think we're just going to... I think Aura Sphere is probably the best choice of action right here. Alright, this might knock it out, it might not. It's only normal effectiveness. Alright, it was close. Next turn. We'll definitely take it out next turn, which is pretty awesome. Alrighty. I'm realizing this episode might still wind up a bit long. I can feel it. Our minds are one right now. Mine and my partner's. Yeah, this episode's probably going to wind up still being a little bit long, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal just because we're knocking out a ton of fights in this video. And with that, just as I'd expected, you are really drawing forth your Pokemon's power. Indeed we are. I suppose that's it. If winning in battles is strength, then believing that your Pokémon will come back and waiting for its return is also strength. Doing what you think is right no matter what anyone else says, like these guys do, is strength too. David, come back tomorrow. I'll take you on again. That's my way of saying thanks. So yep, you can rematch him once a day if you're so inclined. Now these characters right here, I'm not sure if we ever spoke to them when we were first here, but I'd like to talk to them now. I wonder if N understands now. Trainers battle with Pokemon not to hurt them, but so trainers and Pokemon can understand one another better. It's the simplest way for them to do this. The more serious the battle, the more the true nature of Pokemon and people becomes apparent. I don't understand N's pure and innocent feelings, but I will be very happy if he figured out what he wants to do on his own during his travels with the legendary Pokemon. These two women, Anthea and Concordia, were N's caretakers when he was a child. Really interesting little bit of detail right there that you might not get if you don't choose to explore a little bit. But anyway, with that, I would like to meet you guys in Castelia City. Alrighty, here we are in Castelia City, and I would like to return one final time to the Game Freak building. You might recall way back when we were here the first time, we were able to face off against some of the developers of the game, and after you've beaten the champion and come back here, they will actually have stronger teams for you, and I just noticed, didn't the clown guy that gave out starter Pokemon used to be here? Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, I'm Snorlax. No, I'm the planner. I don't mean to butt in, but the item leftovers is important, isn't it? It's pretty useful in battle. Do you want to battle and test it? Sure thing. I like to win using my favorite Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that text is exactly the same as before. But anyway, here we have Game Freak Nishino, and he has gotten a crazy team upgrade. This Pokemon trainer and the other Pokemon trainer that we're going to be fighting in this building, I'm pretty sure they will both also rematch you once a day. And if it weren't for any of the other trainers that you can rebattle many times a day that were added in this hack, I personally definitely recommend this guy in particular for grinding, because he uses a lot of those really bulky normal types that have crazy experience yields, so I definitely keep it in mind if you are in need of a place to grind for levels. As you might notice, his Pokemon are also very tough. They are in the 90s, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, we had a couple of trainers in the 70s and a couple in the 80s this episode, but then there's also the ones in the 90s that definitely pose a threat to you if you're not prepared. So that's why I chose to save these fights until a lot closer to the end of the LP than I technically needed to. Anyway, over 5,000 experience points for that first KO right there, so yeah. You're going to really want to come here if you want some quick and easy experience points during a given day. Especially if you're training up a fighting type, because fighting types do very well in these fights, but as you can see, these things take hits like you won't even believe, which can be a little bit frustrating. So if you're in a bit of a dire strait, I definitely recommend using special fighting type moves and not physical fighting type moves. The only special fighting type move that explicitly comes to mind at this point right now is actually Aura Sphere. So I guess if you're packing Aura Sphere, I can definitely recommend it. Unfortunately, the 3 Pokemon on my team that are not yet level 100 are really not suited for this fight, aside from arguably Victini. And even then, we all just saw how that went, so I think I'm just going to send out Lucario to clean up best I can, just so I can show off the fight, but we're really not going to be getting a lot of experience from this, just because Lucario is the best team member suited for this, and it's already level 100. Honestly, I probably should have equipped experience shares before this fight, but it's not really too terribly big of a deal for me, so we should be okay. I was wondering if that was going to be a knockout right there, but unfortunately it was not. And now we have Trick Room coming out, which is definitely interesting, and this Audino's packing a Fire Blast of all things. Honestly, it's stuff like that, like, Why on earth would you put Fire Blast in an Audino? It's the kind of things like that that make me feel like the game developer explicitly planned for people to use Lucario just because it's so dang popular. Anyway, Wigglytuff is coming in right here, and it's probably going to outspeed us here as well. And this one's actually got Focus Blast, which is another incredibly powerful move. That's probably going to knock us out, unfortunately. Yeah. Ah well. Alright, I think I'm going to switch into Garchomp next just because if Lucario can't do it, Garchomp can probably do it because Garchomp's just that strong. And wow, we actually had a Focus Blast miss, which is surprising. I was not expecting a move like that to miss. And we got the burn off, which is super nice because that's going to nerf its attack power quite significantly. I think I'm going to try Earthquake just because Earthquake is more powerful and it's got stab, but it is physical, and I think Wigglytuff's physical defense is higher. Definitely worth a shot though, and it pays off, and we got a critical for good measure. Nice. Alrighty, up next is Porygon 2. Oddly enough, this is not a Porygon Z, and I'm not really sure why, because I think Porygon Z is objectively better than Porygon 2 in most respects. I don't know, it might be a very bizarre evolution like Scizor, where the stats are just rearranged and not outright increased. I don't actually know what the deal is with that. And wow, that actually did quite a bit of damage. Alright, I guess we're switching to Magnezone next. Magnezone is probably going to be a good choice to stick with for his last Pokemon as well, and his last Pokemon, you're not really going to expect what it is, assuming it is what the documentation says it is, which, oh, the documentation that comes with this game, it is a fickle beast. Alright, we're going to take a Blizzard, and that's not going to do much because we're part Steel type. Yeah, that did nothing. Alright, pump this thing full of ults, and up next... Oh wait, no, it's the other guy that has the crazy Pokemon. Okay, this one makes sense. We have Blissey coming in right here. Sorry about that, teasing about something and I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's the other guy in this building that has the wacky Pokemon that you wouldn't expect. And this Blissey is actually packing Focus Blast as well, which is kind of ridiculous at this point. Alright, please don't knock me out. Okay, good. Blissey's attack power really isn't remarkable in any way, shape, or form, so we should be able to take it out, especially since it's... Oh, which one is it? Either its physical defense or its special defense is ridiculous. I think it's its special defense, so I'm going to try Volt Switch, because I'm pretty sure Volt Switch is physical. Gonna have to give it a shot. I don't know, I always get that confused. I think its physical defense is the one that's garbage. Alright, I think we only have a couple Pokemon left actually. This fight is proving to be a bit more difficult than I was expecting it to be, which is kind of amusing actually. Alright, let's see how much Earthquake is going to do. Alright, yep, it's definitely its physical defense that's garbage. Its physical defense is something terrible, like... It's literally like 10 or something ridiculous like that, so... Yeah, hit this thing with physical attacks and you should be good. Oh, it is painful seeing that HP scroll. Yikes. Alright, it is actually faster than me, which is unfortunate, and why on earth did it use gravity right there? That makes no sense. I don't have an air, but like that was a complete waste of a turn. Like, don't... Like, it's just... What? Okay. 15,583 experience for that, by the way, so yeah. If you need a proof of this being a good training spot, we just got a level and a half. Ah, I see, that was quite well thought out. Like a level and then another half a level around the 95 range. That's crazy. Oh, what great Pokemon. The great number of steps seems to have increased their trust in you. I hope we can battle again tomorrow. And I am going to heal really quick, and then we are going to be back for the next fight. Alrighty, here we are back. I healed up all of our Pokemon, and now it is time for the last fight that I wanted to do in this video. Oh, you've become strong, I can tell. Do you want to have a battle with me? Absolutely, sir. Well, let's begin. Alrighty. This is Game Freak Morimoto, who we fought earlier in our adventure and was also included in the original Black and White. Nishino was not for some strange reason. But yeah, being able to actually battle against the developers of the game, I think that was a really, really neat idea. And I really wish they would have done more with it in Generation 6. But in Generation 6, there was no battling against the game developers. At all. Which I found to be incredibly disappointing. Now, this guy has a bit of a gimmick, which I think you're going to realize. His Pokemon are all packing power herbs, and they all are packing only 2-turn execution moves. In Braviary's case, it is packing only Fly, which is kind of ridiculous. Alright, up next is Excadrill, and I think you can probably imagine what this thing is packing. Presumably it's going to be packing Dig. This is a really, really bizarre team, and it's a gimmick that I really don't think is going to hold up for him very well, especially since we're packing Earthquake right here. So he's going to Dig, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get a Power Herb boost immediately. Yes, I'm going to get it off in 1 turn. So yeah, it's just a really, really bizarre gimmick, and if this doesn't knock him out, he's going to be stuck underground next turn, because all this Excadrill knows is Dig. It's just a really, really, really odd system. I'm not sure what prompted the creation of a team like this, because honestly, if they don't get a one-shot, they're pretty much done. Because they only have these 2-turn attacks. It's really bizarre. Like, I was looking at the document before starting this fight, and I was like, what? Really? But yeah, that is how this fight works. It's very, very weird. Alrighty, up next. Yes, you saw that right. He has Mew on his team, which is what I was referring to earlier. Really not sure where on earth he got a hold of a Mew, especially since we also own a Mew. But I guess if you're just going for seeing all the Pokemon, you don't have to go hunt down Mew. You can just fight it here, which is interesting. I believe Mew is the only Pokemon on his team that is not bound by this bizarre rule. Oh wow, it actually does have Fly. Okay. Does it have a Power Herb? Yes, it does. All of his Pokemon have Power Herbs. I think Mew has more moves than just Fly, to be clear. I think it has other 2-turn moves. It's just really, really weird, especially since, like, it's Mew. You could put anything on it, yet you choose to put, like, Fly and Dig and stuff on it. It's just really, really weird to me. Anyway, up next we have Zebstrika, which I believe is packing Bounce, which is a really annoying one, because unlike Dig, I have nothing to counter it with in its semi-invulnerable phase. In fact, I'm not sure if there's any move that can actually hit Bounce in its intermediate turn. Anyway, we're gonna get the Power Herb right there, and I don't think the Power Herb actually boosts the power of the move. I think all it does is it allows the execution of the move in 1 turn. Which is good, and also a little bit weird because he's not getting any stronger, he's just getting off the moves in 1 less turn. We have Alomomola coming out, I think either lastly or second lastly, and this one I'm pretty sure is packing Dive. And I believe Surf actually does boosted damage against Pokemon that are using Dive. Unfortunately, this thing is resistant to Surf, so it's really not that worth it. Alright, can we get a one-shot on this thing? I'd really like to just get it off the field, because Alomomola can be incredibly frustrating. There we go. Nice. Last up we have Liepard. Liepard is interesting because I'm pretty sure this Pokemon on his team is actually packing Assist, if I'm not mistaken. Which means it can call up some of the other moves, some of the other 2-turn moves, in fact a random one. Yeah, it's going to throw off an Assist. What's it going to pull? Oh, there we go, it pulled Dive. Of course it did. And it's actually not packing a Power Herb, which is odd, but I guess I'll take it. Unfortunately, because he got incredibly lucky with Assist. Oh wow, we actually survived that. Nice. Unfortunately, it's going to get off Assist again. Like, see, this thing is so annoying. Like, if you get in a bad rhythm in this fight, it can get incredibly frustrating because every other turn they're just immune to all damage after the power herb takes effect. It's kind of ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure Lucario's going to be capable of outspeeding this thing, so let's just smack it with an Aura Sphere, and wow, it's actually faster. Okay. Alright, luckily it called up Bounce, which I think is only neutrally effective on Lucario right here, so as long as we can avoid the paralysis, we should be okay. And of course we don't, because the computer always gets stupid lucky. Oh god, do we really have to sit through this again? Oh, and now it's calling up Dig, so I think I know what I want to pull out. And we were paralyzed 2 turns in a row. Come on, seriously? But yeah, this fight can either be incredibly easy because of their limited move pool, or incredibly frustrating for exactly the same reason, because this assist is always going to pull a move with immunity in the middle, and this thing is incredibly fast. Like, it's just so annoying. Nice, it pulled Dig, thank god. Alright, yeah, the nice thing is you can sort of try and get lucky and try and make it so that you can get out of this without having to deal with the whole assist thing. Okay, how on earth, like, it goes first when it uses assist, but then I go first when it's in the semi-invulnerable phase. What's up with that? Do we have a speed tie? Oh my god. But yeah, if anyone remembers when I would face off against Zane's Umbreon and Liquid Crystal, and that thing was basically a stalling pain in the butt, this fight is pretty much the same thing. Literally all these things do is they stall and stall and stall, and I'll be honest, I don't know what's up with assist going off first all the time, and then me attacking first. If they gave assist priority, that would suck. I don't think assist has priority. Maybe it does. You know what? Since we're obviously going to be sitting here for a while, I'm going to pull up Bulbapedia, like, right now on my iPad, because this is, like, super professional YouTubing. I'm just going to keep spamming U-turn. What on earth is up with assist? Alright, can we please just take this thing out? Ay 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 ay. Alright guy, I see what game you're playing, and I really, really don't like it. Come on. This can't be a priority move, is it? There's no way it is. Ay ay ay. It's funny, it looks like the Bulbapedia page on assist doesn't actually mention it. And it's funny, I'm on the Bulbapedia page right now because this is just taking so freaking long, I might as well Google it. The header image for assist, the user is Liepard. Holy crap, please, can we just... Ay ay ay, alright, let's look up the priority bracket. This is ridiculous. Alright, can we please just take this thing out? God. This is so stupid. I don't think it's a priority move. No, it's not. It's not a priority move. Am I just getting ridiculously unlucky? What is going on here? Seriously? Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it something with U-turn? No. What is going on right here? Like, seriously. Alright, I'm gonna try and change around my attacking pattern, see if we can get a little bit lucky right here, but this is stupid. If this is a speed tie, we're getting horrendously unlucky. Alright. Are we really gonna have to outlast this thing? This is ridiculous. How many power points does assist even freaking have? Okay, it has 20. I wasn't expecting this fight to be this stupid, but apparently it is going to be this friggin' stupid. Okay, we're gonna switch to Garchomp just to see if we can somehow, like, just break this cycle. This is ridiculous. I don't know how many times this thing has managed to pull out an assist, but good god. Alright, please call up Dig, just so we can end this thing. Nope. Alright, so it went first, and now I go first. What the heck? This isn't a thing, right? Like... Alright, I guess I just need to count on it calling up Dig. This is ridiculous. Seriously, if anyone can just explain what is going on the screen right now, I would be very, very appreciative if you could just go down to the comments and explain this, because I'm looking around and I cannot figure out why the heck this is going on. Please call Dig. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, can we please just take this thing out? Good God. Finally. Ay, 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 ay. That was stupid. That was so stupid. After all, I am the strongest and greatest. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding indeed, guy. You think about battles very thoroughly. I lost, but I learned a lot from you. Besides, it was fun. Come back again tomorrow. No, 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 no. If there is any fight I don't want to do again, it's that one. I don't know what's up with assist. From what I look at, it is not a priority move of any kind. It's just... Oh, that was so stupid. Anyway, with that, that is actually the last optional boss fight I wanted to show in this video. Yeah, quite the finale, wouldn't you say? So, yeah, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we faced off against Cynthia, Hugh, twice, Alder, and the more powerful members of the Game Freak Company in Castelia City. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, I'm going to be meeting you guys in Nimbaza City for something that only happens on Fridays. Veterans of this game are probably aware of what I'm talking about. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.